Hello there, just to do a short video which I said I was going to do, and this is about flight 77 which hit the Pentagon. I'm going to deal with some, if you want to call it, scientific data, which is the seismic data. So there's a bit of science to this one, and it's factual. This was also included in the investigation. So what we're looking at here is the seismic elements to this here. So if you just look at when the signal reached its peak and amplification there, it's between 9:38 and 9:39. Now the various seismic stations that were being used to pick up this signal, or lack of signal, because I'll get to that point in a moment, which is very, very telling, because there should have been a more significant signal than this. So what we're looking at here essentially is, it's not at 9:37, which is the official time that the alleged aircraft hit the building. It is more towards 9:38, 9:39 time, which is quite a discrepancy. And it actually says about the signal records from the vertical component were 9:36 to 9:39. And they're plotted, so this is showing, basically that's the time frame, and we have this signal here which is around 9:39. So the strongest signal is actually 9:38 and 52 seconds, which is, to be precise on that one there, and that was picked up in Millersville, Pittsburgh. So the interesting thing about this, which is backed up by some other scientific data, is it's not registering here at 9:37 and 9:38, which you'd expect, even travelling through the ground and being picked up through the instruments. You would expect that to happen. Because it was 139 kilometres the station was from the Pentagon. So essentially all that was picked up, this signal here, is an electrical disturbance. So we're not getting any trace of a plane hitting that building, which is kind of strange. I can't go too deep into this because of YouTube's restrictions on free speech and things like that. So I'm just pointing out the facts here, and it's not my evidence, not my opinion. This is the evidence that's presented officially. So I'm presenting official evidence from their studies and their documents. So this is sort of telling us then that this hit round about 9:38 and 52 seconds, so just a little bit shy of 9:39, which is a massive discrepancy, really. Need to say 1.5 minutes. Okay, so, but the interesting thing, this correlates with another piece of evidence, scientific evidence again, and this is the Earth's magnetic field. This illustration is taken from Dr. Judy Wood's book, and I've added some, I've plotted this here. This bit isn't in her book of what I've added, the 9:30 to 9:40 time. So that's something I've added in, because Dr. Wood mainly covered the first two flights in her plotting, which prompted me to look at the other flights. So I'm just going to use this. So this is flight I'm sort of referred to flight 77 here. So if we have a look between 9:30 and 9:40, we have from 9:30 we have a major all the way down spike past 9:35 and around 9:37, 38 time. So there's a big drop here. I hope you can see my cursor. Each spikes, and we not only have one, but all of them are showing a fluctuation between starting at 9:30 right down to 9:37, perhaps around that time 9:38, which I think is very telling on, just my opinion, this is speculation on what actually created that hole in that building, the Pentagon. But I can't elaborate any more on that because of, I don't want to overstep YouTube's guidelines. So, but this is for all you guys who are watching this, who subscribe to my channel. You need to consider these two pieces of information, and these are not just two isolated ones, as I'm going to show in a moment, because there's some really strong discrepancies happening with the official evidence, really. So we got the seismic evidence, which registers the signal, which it's filtered out about 0.6 to 5 hertz, which is maximum amplitudes of trace ranges of 200 nanometers per second. So really, a signal of a plane hitting the building should have really registered. Again, I can only say this is my opinion. I think it should have registered more along these lines here, not over here. But the interesting fact here of this signal is that it's only picking up an electrical disturbance. Now that can be quite significant because electrical disturbances are also found at the Twin Towers when the planes hit, and also in Shanksville, which we included in the 9/11 Alchemy film with Chris Hampton. Me and Chris looked quite deeply into that, and Chris showed really well that a lot of the electrical disturbances with the Burger King sign when the second plane hit the South Tower, there was an electrical disturbance, so which also affected TV signals as well. Bearing in mind that the transmitters broadcasting the transmissions, TV stations, they were actually situated on the North Tower, not the South. So that's very odd that the South Tower's hit, and it affects, like, the Burger King sign. We have electrical disturbances registered as well, and we also have there is an anomaly happens in the North Tower if you watch the 9/11 Alchemy film. So you can't blame that the transmissions from the TV signals were because the plane hit that particular tower that had the transmitters situated on it, because they wasn't. So it seems a bit of a signature that these electrical disturbances happen. And we also have the same in Shanksville. Phones went out, electricity was out for a long time, which were, in fact, the electricity was, again, electrical disturbances at Shanksville. I've also got a couple of cases of levitation, which were also happened at the World Trade Center. So just some things to think about there. Now, just to back this up, I want to go onto the seismic data for Shanksville. So the seismologists for this, they decided that the trace that was made from the crash in Shanksville, Flight 93, and they even give you the coordinates up here for Shanksville, they traced a very small trace signal, which was at 14:06 UTC time, which means 10:06. Now this is a glaring discrepancy of 3 minutes, because the official time of Flight 93 crashing was 10:03, yet the seismic data is 10:06. And as far as I'm aware, again, I think we can agree on this, and with the seismologists, they was lent on to some degree to change that to 10:03. But you cannot eradicate these seismic signals. They show what they show. Whether the seismologists change their position or time, the chart still shows here that the event time of 9/11/2001 was 14:06 and 5 seconds, and there's the coordinates for the actual crash site there. So the interesting thing here with Shanksville, which parallels quite nicely and correlates quite nicely with what I spoke about with Flight 77, is this here. Again, this is the Earth's magnetic field charts taken from Dr. Judy Wood's book, and I've plotted, which I've inserted here, 10:03, 10:06 into the time, and we see again happening here, we have a spike at 10:03 and another fluctuation spike in a downward spike at 10:06, and then it goes up again afterwards. So you've got quite a major dip there at 10:06 and starts fluctuating around 10:03. So that's two pieces of scientific evidence there which correlate with each other, showing the downtrend at 10:06. So in the Earth's magnetic field being pulled and fluctuating, a disturbance happening. So people can make of this what they will. I'm merely pointing it out. I do draw connections which I will put in my book, very similar to perhaps what Dr. Judy Wood thinks made the holes at the WTC buildings. I'm sort of along them lines, that some type of signature to do with that affected the Earth's magnetic field, which more than likely possibly caused the damage in the ground, or a plane-shaped hole in the ground. I can go a bit deeper on that, because there was no fuel found in that hole either, no aircraft fuel, which is astonishing. And there's also correlations which Chris and I, well, mainly Chris mentioned in his film, to do with iron found in the water, contamination in Shanksville, which correlates with the iron microspheres at the World Trade Center as well. But I shall get into that another time, because it's it's quite heavy stuff, that. And some other things to mention about that, which correlate with other strangeness and weird effects to do with crop circles. So which is very interesting, which I shall cover again another time. So I may have to do all that on BitChute. So guys, if any of you want to head over to BitChute and subscribe to my channel there, I can speak a lot more freely over there, because I am going to do some update videos there as well, where I can elaborate on some of the findings of this scientific evidence. But I'm going to leave it there. I said it would be a short video, but it ended up being my longest. So thanks to all those people who do leave comments and likes and subscribes. I really appreciate that. As I said, I'm just a messenger, just pointing out some coincidental evidence here, and it's all official evidence, by the way. And I'll leave that there, food for thought for you all. don't hesitate in leaving a comment or contacting me. I really appreciate it all. Have a good day and I'll speak soon.